Welcome to the first video of Hammett Archery. Today we'll be shooting this Halloween pumpkin because it's just been in the way. And we're going to be using my Bear brand bow with 4 arrows. And we're just going to see what happens to it. So just a little heads up, my thought, since you're only using a field tip instead of a broadhead, I didn't think it would go through a pumpkin, but we're about to find out. I guess it goes through it. And now we're ready for shot number 2. Chipping away at the pumpkin. Now we have shot number 3, which I'm trying to take these arrows and put a smiley face on the pumpkin. So instead of carving it, we're just going to use some arrows and do it. Semi-smiley face. So for my last shot here, we're going to try to land this one right in the middle of those other 3. Which we did not do. So as we walk up to the target here, this is the new channel. More videos will be coming out soon. They're not super professional, but they will be getting better. As you can see, we got the 4 arrows that went through the pumpkin, all the way through, and then into my base target behind it. And my stepdad made this target, and yeah, just a bunch of stuffing and wax paper. And now we're probably about to struggle and see how hard it is to get these arrows out of this pumpkin. And then we're gonna, shoot it again. So here we are, after about 20 minutes of struggling to get them to move through the friction of the pumpkin and the target together at the same time. And yeah, I had no idea that just a field point would go all the way through a pumpkin. Now, we're gonna get these the rest of the way out and shoot it again. Now again, as we walk up here, this is a new channel, so every like, subscribe, and following on Facebook does help a lot. And I just realized when I walked up here, apparently this is why I couldn't tell where my arrows were landing. They were flying right through the pumpkin. As you can see, there's only 3 of them here, because the 4th one went through right there, under that. Came all the way through. And there are still 4 arrows in it. So now we're going to struggle to get these out of there again and hopefully don't break them. But yes, everything you do with a bow and arrow can be considered dangerous, even shooting a pumpkin. So for this one, I just went with pulling the pumpkin out as itself, and the arrows were stuck so hard in it, the pumpkin didn't slide on the arrows. It just came out with the arrows. So, there are 4 arrow holes here, but you can only see 3 of the arrows. Because again, this one here went all the way through, and it's probably going to have to cut the pumpkin open to get that out without breaking it. So, we're going to take one more shot at this pumpkin, but just because I like doing it, we're going to do it in slow motion. So that, my friends, is your slow motion shot in normal speed. And as you have seen right before this, you'll see the slow motion view of it. But thankfully, this one did not go all the way through the pumpkin and have to struggle without breaking the veins, because I pushed the pumpkin all the way back against the target. So after I went back inside because it started raining, my stepdad asked me, "What'd you shoot it with?" So I told him I took 4 arrows out here and used field points on all of them. He's like, "Well, it's a pumpkin. Why don't you just use a broadhead?" So we're about to use this 4-pointed death machine, as I like to call it. And we're going to, put it through the pumpkin here. And I'm stabbing right through it, just barely poking it with the point of this. So we're going to go back there and shoot it. So we got the broadhead knocked, and we're about to see what this 4-pointed death machine can do to a pumpkin. my guess is it probably shreds right through it. Because if the fill point does it, then this thing's definitely going to do it. That's what I call carving a pumpkin. So yeah, I'd say it went right through it, you know. Got a little flap of pumpkin here that I thought was going to raise up, but I guess not. Kind of looks like the ones where the bangs went through, but no, they're all the way back here. Shredded right through it. And then just look at the hole it put in this thing. It shredded a hole right through all of this. And I can shove my finger back in there, but I don't know what tiny animals are probably in there. So we're probably about to struggle to pull this thing out. Oh, maybe not. Come on, buddy. Where'd you go? And this is what my friend looks like after you fire it. Or shoot it, fling it, whatever you want to call it. He looks pretty dangerous and deadly. 4-pointed death machine. Right through a pumpkin. So after we pulled this out of the pumpkin, you can tell this looks very, very deadly. Except for the pumpkin that's all over it. I mean, still, I can just stab this thing. I don't know why this is amusing, but I'm probably damaging my broadhead, so I'm going to quit. But yeah. And just for anybody who's wondering, which I highly doubt any of you are, I use a TrueFire release. I use Maxima Junior arrows. This isn't my broadhead, so I don't know what brand it is. And I also use a bare bow. And then I made this custom-made arm grip out of paracord. That arrow would quit rolling away. And it just sits on your wrist, that way you're not holding the bow and shaking it. I use a Whisker Biscuit Trophy Ridge arrow holder, I guess. And not really sure what brand that is. It's got 4 sights, and it tells you if your bow's level or not. And I believe that's it. If there's anything else y'all want to know about what I'm using, just let me know.